It's been over a week since Aaron Rodgers announced his intention to appear on The Pat McAfee Show and play for the Jets. This was supposed to be a turning point in this never-ending saga. The moment he made public what he wanted to do, with a trade soon. We are still waiting. The Packers won a first-round pick for Rodgers. The Jets don't want to trade their first-round picks. And so there is an end. The debate has spread far and wide as to which team has more leverage. Fact, no team really has more leverage, and both should want to do so later. Especially when the NFL draft is looming in a little over a month. Like Packers and Jets fans, we're tired of waiting. That's why we brought together Joe Douglas and Brian Gutekunst through Slack and let them recap those talks. Here is the text of that speech. Joe Douglas: Hello Brian. It's time for us to make this trade clear so we can relax and enjoy the sunny weather in Arizona at the annual league meeting next week. Don't ruin my vacation. We're at a unique point as we both know the end of this story. Aaron Rodgers will be a Jet. We don't know yet what happened before that. I want to do something. You want to do something. It's in both our interests to complete this deal so we can both get on with our lives. I know you did. Deeper Jets offseason to-do list: trading for Aaron Rodgers. Just the beginning for Joe Douglas. I've been the Jets general manager for 4 years and haven't lost in any trades. The jury is still out on Wednesday's Elijah Moore deal, and I don't intend to change that now. But I think we can both walk out of this deal feeling victorious. Before we get into details of the trade, why don't you let me know where your head is, how you're feeling, and if there's anything you want to say before we get into details? Let's start on the positive side. Brian Gutekunst: Where's my mind? Joe? Are you really asking me that? My boss just said on TV at a high school girls basketball tournament in Wisconsin that we want Jordan Love instead of Aaron. I don't care if it's true or not. Don't say that on TV. Oh, and then Aaron McAfee and AJ. She accuses Hawk and me of shopping behind her back. What did Alan Lazard say during the Jets promotion? That Rodgers was a little off-putting in the off-season? It's not entirely my fault we didn't have a direct conversation. But aside from the circus in Green Bay, my head is in a great place. Asking, let's solve this. Yes. We both know how this is going to end. But just because we want him out and he wants out, I'm not handing over one of the best players this game has ever seen. I need appropriate compensation. We'll start with selection number 13. If I don't get this, no deal. If I have to, I'll make you sweat this by summer. I know you didn't want Zach Wilson running with them at the off-season work and training camp. If really want Aaron and think he's giving you a championship shot, then at least this year it's worth picking in the first round and know it. Download Packers Mock Draft 2.0. Will Green Bay take 13th place for Aaron Rodgers? Douglas: Soon to be your old quarterback. RELX. We'll make it through. We both know. You don't need to be spoiled with me. I think you knew that the first round pick will always be a point of contention. But I understand why you want that. The 13th pick will be very much to give up for a 39-year-old point guard with no guarantees that he will return in 2024. But you already know that. Consider what we traded in almost the same situation 15 years ago. Brett Favre for a conditional 4th round pick that turned into a 3rd round pick. Now, we are not unreasonable. This time I know that is not enough and the value of quarterbacks has changed in the trading market. But even you have to admit how similar this situation is to the situation in 2008. I'd love to warm your fire on a different kind of deal, and we're obviously ready to negotiate. You get 2nd round pick, our 4th round pick, conditional 2025 3rd round pick, and wide receiver Corey Davis. The terms of this 3rd round selection will obviously depend on how much Rodgers has played in 2024. Let's say if he plays in 50% of the snaps in 2024. That's a 2nd round pick. If the Jets make the playoffs, it will be a first. Davis is a quality wide receiver in the Lazard mold, and we know you need to replace the Lazard. I would like to discuss an unconditional first-round election in 2024. But we both know you need draft choices right now. Before I come up with this idea, at least let me hear your thoughts on my first proposal. Download NFL Beat Writer Mock Draft 2.0. QBs go fast. A surprise trade and Aaron Rodgers stalemate gut against. Believe me, I know how irritating it is to have Aaron as your quarterback and not know if he will play after next season. I want to protect yourself in case you retire after playing a season for you. But even if it's just one season, there's a price to be paid for automatic playoff contention. And that's what he's given to any team over the last few years. No matter how much gray hair it's caused me, along with everything else, he has won 2 of the last 3 MVPs. Last season, he played with a broken throwing thumb for most of the year, dealing with receivers who had no idea what routes to run and major injuries to his 2 top attackers. This guy is still elite, and you owe your franchise to pay his worth for a quarterback you've recently pursued. I appreciate your offer and it's not bad, but must do everything I can to surround my 24-year-old quarterback with as much help as can from both sides of the ball to make his pass easier. Love is as cool as a cucumber, but still faces a lot of pressure following in the footsteps of Brett and Aaron. I can't get out of election number 13. You'll still cut Davis, but since Matt LaFleur loves him for his time with the Titans, we'll take him. I know you understand what it means to bring Aaron into your franchise. This conditional pick is third. Aaron plays 50% of snaps in 2024. 1 second if you make it to the playoffs with him, and first you make it to Super Bowl with him. Douglas, understand where you're coming from, and I don't even think it's a bad offer, but you did what meant for me. Now you want to surround Love with as many talents as possible. So why do you need this deal done before draft? But I won't be stupid. If you don't give up on the first-round pick, this can happen in one of 2 ways. You eat most of $58.3 million we will owe Aaron over the next 2 years and give us a useful choice in trade. If you will not eat the salary, we will demand a better choice in return. Fact, you're only negotiating with one team and you want to get rid of Rodgers as much as we want to. Get it? If the goal is to win, waiting until September won't do you any good. So this is what I would suggest. The Packers receive first-round, fourth-round pick, conditional 2025 fourth-round Davis and wide receiver Denzel Mims. Jets take Aaron Rodgers. Second-round pick. You can look at it this way: 2 firsts, 1 third, 2 fourths, and all your other choices, plus a quality senior buyer who will help Love right away, another junior wide buyer with potential, and a worthwhile future pick. Gut against, we're getting somewhere now. Joe, no jerks here, just good negotiations. I still argue that you want Rodgers more than we do, but I'm drifting off topic. We don't want to eat any of that $58.3 million. So let's agree on this, since I'm already terrible at drafting in the 3rd round. This year we're going to give you Aaron and a 3rd round pick. You give us 2025 conditional 3rd round pick. Number 13. Who will be second if he plays more than 50% of the offensive snaps in 2024? And first if you make playoffs with him plus Davis in 2024. We're giving you 2023 3rd instead of a 2nd. And you don't have to give us that 2023 4th or Mims in return. But the circumstances of the 2025 election are little different. Do we have an agreement? Douglas, I still don't like to give it up first. And Jets fans might not be totally thrilled with me. But, especially with extra 2nd round pick we got in Brown's trade on Wednesday, I think extra 3rd will make it easier for us to get back to 1st round if there's a possibility. We like. Yes. You have a deal. Brian. Call in. I can't wait to have some margaritas with you by the pool next week in Arizona to celebrate. And since you're not going to give us back any of that $58.3 million, you're buying it. Guttikins cheers. Joe. To new beginnings. See you at cocktail hour in Phoenix. Agreement Jets QB Aaron Rodgers. Third round pick Packers get first round pick. Conditional 2025 third round pick. WR Corey Davis conditions if Rodgers plays more than 50% of offensive quicks in 2024. He will be a second round pick. If Rodgers makes it to the playoffs in 2024, he'll be a first round pick.